I believe in August last year, me and this Pak Hanka is a very good India developer work together in some application development using RAG application assistant. And I would like to make the presentation very practical. I don't have no slide. I have the paper to show you and bunch of coding that we do in production environment today, I want you to pay attention what I want to say, because this is not going to be just for a student. I want to give it to you my experience, what happened many times when we develop RAG application development. Now you can see that RAG is generate argument retriever, is the one of the most important Gen AI application we're doing today. And I want to give it to you some overview, and we are going to talk about the classic RAG and agentic RAG, both of them together. I have maybe 4 or 5 files to show you, and I want to show you how do we develop pipeline for the RAG assistant today. If anybody have any question, I watching here at the chat, just let me know, and I can talk to you about it right now. So at the end of the presentation, I would talk to Richard. I can create a Google repo public. I can pull all these codes for you, in the paper, see whatever you want to do, So this paper was about the RAG definition. How do we do that in real life? And one thing we mentioned, couple definition, for example, large language model, our foundation model, natural language processing, designed to understand, generate, manipulate human language. Simple definition, should be able to read this information when you have a chance. Nothing new here. RAG, retrieval augmented generation, is a technique used to fine-tune LLMs, especially with proprietary business document. RAG combines generate capabilities LLM retrieval mechanism to fetch data information for the database or document. So people coming to me and said, why do I need RAG? I can go to ChatGPT or Google and find the same thing. Well, the problem is that Google is going to be general, ChatGPT general. If you want to talk into a specific document, like a JSON, XML document, web pages, database, for your company, the RAG is very important because the one is going to be bound to a specific, this type of the search. So this is kind of the generic graphic, how RAG is going to work. You can see here, we have a user that had the prompt for the system, the query, and we go to the document, retrieve all the document, whatever we need. Then we have 3 components. We have the prompt, that we're going to talk about what does it mean prompt. Very important, the prompt is the one that's going to tell the what to do to this LLM. The query is the question, and that's the same document. We pass to the LLM model, the model return for you back the response. This is kind of graphic stuff, You can get a document for the database, you can get a document for XML file, JSON, PDF file, any document that you would like to have. In this paper, we talk about some AWS Bedrock. In my code, we are going to use the OpenAI. You should be able to have an account and do the same implementation. Couple definition. LangChain is the main framework designed for develop power application using LLM, specific for Gen AI. And it's very important that we use that today. You can check it out. That I will show all the code why this is very important for us. The retriever is the interface that get a structured document and generate for you the result after we apply the vector store. I want to talk an example for you how to do that. Then we have the retriever chain, and the faith is the Facebook AI similarity source, and you can use this library to create the embeddings. And you can use ChromaDB too. Streamlit is the application that we use, Python use for develop web application development specific for data science project and machine learning application development, specific for that. So here the paper to read. Let's go ahead and open the first file I want to show you. Very simple code. I want you to understand that, very important for us. Okay, I'm using VS Code. You can see from here, VS Code appear. And the first one, I'm going to give it to you, this classic RAG. Let me go ahead and increase the code so you can see that. I want to increase let me know you can see. Can you see the code probably right now? This is the main file I want to show you because it represents everything you need to know how do we do RAG application development. Okay. Okay, so as you can see here, the main framework for RAG application development AI today is going to be LangChain. You can see from here. We created all the library. And of course, there are 2 types of embedding framework we're using today for vector store called the Face and Chroma. More people in the state, wherever I look at right now in Hillsboro, Oregon, we have all the big company, Intel Corporation, Nike, Google, Microsoft, everybody using ChromaDB. Talk about it a couple of minutes here right now. So we have the retrieval, the change, and we have all the information we need here. Okay, so suppose that you are a doctor, and let's make a very good user case. You have a doctor and you have 1,000 patients in your office now, and you want to find information about any patient. You can see here, right? 1,000 patients. I don't want to, my secretary start looking for a patient by the phone number or give you some information about the patient, I don't want to use website, I don't want to use nothing. I want to talk to this file. How can I talk to this file? That's coming along using RAG assistant development. So for example, this patient here, give it information about patient information, medical history, medication, allergy, all this information about this patient, I would like to talk to this file and say, hey, give it to me all the medication this patient is taking. Show me the history for this patient, without opening the file. This file could be anywhere. And I don't want to use any source engine. I want to talk to the file so they can find information from them. So let's look at the code. Like I said before, very basic code. And I want to explain one by one so you can see how RAG is going to work. This type of the pipeline that we're using is called, sometimes it's called RAG pipeline application development. Okay, so one important thing that we need to pass to the element, something called prompt template. This is one of the most important thing to define talking to any LLM and generative AI application today, assistant today. This has to be so good. I'm talking about so good, but with preparatory that even is sometimes one section, one line, like a one sentence here can completely blow out the entire Gen AI. It wasn't working. So they require a lot of practice to define what kind of information are you going to put in this prompt template that had to be passed to the LLM. So for example, that's going to be medical assistant, answer the question, do not repeat the long of the chunk text, all this information to be. I make it for you very simple. In real line, this thing huge. Maybe have 2-3 pages. They told the LLM what to do. I'm talking about like that. So require a lot of understanding. So what's at the beginning, as you can see here, a good programmer should open any Python file with the main function, right? That's the main function here. The program running, position the main function. We're going to talk about classic RAG assistant using LangChain. We are going to generate and pass the PDF file. And then we are going to call this main function, build hybrid RAG. So right click and we go to definition. And the function started, right? Standard function. So what I'm going to do, somebody asked me some chat for me right now. No chat, so that's good. So here what we have to do is load the PDF file, right? Well, there's a function in the coming for the, let me check it out that, for the load, for the LangChain community, we position the path of the file, we load the file, and we load and convert this file as a document. So then after that, we have maybe we have a huge directory with many files. I want to show you one file only, So after we get the file, we need to get the split. We need to split this document in chunk of document, so we can easily get a specific information that you want for this file. So there's a method named recursive character text splitted that have two main parameters: chunk size and chunk the overlap. Somebody asked the question, how do I define the best chunk size and the overlap? Well, there is no rule for that. There is nothing. The only thing you can do is this information is coming based on a specific domain work. For example, for healthcare, because I'm doing that for a long time, this chunk has to be approximately, size going to be between 500 and 800, and the overlap is going to be 100 and 300. So in general, when we talk about the chunk, the question is, how big is each puzzle piece, And last chunk get better content. So we have two types of definition. The last one, you get the better content, but few pieces, A small chunk, more precisely relevant, but more pieces, You see, it's kind of contradiction, which one you want to use, This is very important because what people do to the production environment when they build the rack, they run at night a loop and they switch this combination. They can get many 20, 50 combinations and they find the best solution for the rack. So I would like to post this file for you in the GitHub. You can see everything very simple here. You can see here, I always document everything at the beginning so I can understand what's going on with this code. So we do a split document. We have the document split, and then we have to do the embedding, And I can see before the embedding, they have two types of embedding we're using today. They're called semantic retrieval, finding the most semantic similar chunk for the embeddings, and using something called cosine similarity. Maybe you know that when you do this type of the decision system, So depends on this information here, we generate a new instance of the OpenAI embedding, and we have two types of them before. You can use face or chroma. For some reason, in the state last year, 2 years ago, a lot of people using the face from the Facebook. Everybody switched to chroma division. So how do we do that? We create the instance of the chroma using the message document, font document, pass the document, pass the embedding object, and we get the semantic retrieval. This is very important because RAG is about the retrieving, It's the one that gives you the information back to you. So that is the retriever, and that's the vector store we are going to create. And we have two types of them. Another one that we use is the called keyword retriever, and it's the one that gives to us the information how to retrieve the information. Like, for example, find me document that contain the same word. So one is about embedding, checking general similarity. The other one has to be a specific word, So you combine both of them, we create the assembly one. And we include both of them. You see that here? This value here is the same idea like we do for the chunk. No idea where this thing come from. You can try between 0.3, 0.4, like I said before. People running a line looping and changing the interval, the weight, until they get the best solution, So another important, and after that, we apply the retrieval chain, that we are going to have the chain type. And of course, I bought the license to go to ChatGPT, and I using ChatGPT 0.0 dash mini. Is the more reliable RAG ChatGPT LM model to using today. Of course, the application has been deployed. I using you gotta get the ID from ChatGPT account. Temperature is the more dangerous parameter in the chain development because it represents control randomly the model output. Low value focuses factor reproduction. High value is creating variable repetitive repetition. For RAG application, to be between 0.0 and 0.3. You can, what people do right now, they're trying 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and they find out the best solution for that. And so that retrieve the document, and then we pass the prompt template. So you see that? So this parameter, what I'm telling you, is very important. Number one, temperature value, because this, you can put any of them here, but that's the one more stable right today. You see here, prompt template, very important. What do you want this assistant to do? I just put one example here. Like I said before, this is sometimes huge. I will maybe say 2-3 pages of the assistant what to do. Okay, so let's come back in the pipeline. Coming down here, we create the vector store. And from the vector store, we create the semantic retrieval. Like I said before, we do the ensemble both of them. We do the chain, and the chain create the element, and we return the chain back to you, and that's it. So how do we run the model? The model is, like you see here before, we get the path of the file, we build the chain, answer the question, invoke. That's it. The invoke method of the queue answer say, give you the result, and that's the response now. So I want to ask a question. What medication is assigned technically? So let's run the program to see that. So the program is running. classic RAG assistant using LangChain. What medication he's assigned King coordinate ticket. And you can see here all of them. That's a document. We can open the document, and that's exactly what this person have here. You can see that run a little faster, right? Because it's just we tell the assistant what to do. We create the pipeline, right? One by one. Any question? We're doing that. This RAG application I show you right now is a standard. We already doing that about I don't know, maybe started like 2 years ago. Any question about the code? Let me know. Like I said before, I will talk to Grisha and we can get for you a get application, give it to you, all this file for you to use here. Standard stuff, RAG development, pipeline, and I put the number. You can see that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of them here. Standard RAG application development. Sometimes we call classic. Any question, please? Any question for me? Let me know. No question? Anything in the chat? Any questions so far? This is a standard RAG application development for one file. You can have here PDF file. You can have JSON. You can have anything, database connection, anything, whatever you want. XML, Excel file, document file, anything. Any question, please? Any questions?
Hi, Ernest, just sorry to interrupt you. We will have the question answer session in the last 15 minutes. You can carry on with, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we have 15 minutes. Okay, so I need to rush. Okay, so and then agentic technology appear, right? It's coming down here. So I open this question that everybody asks. What is the difference between using classic RAG and agentic RAG? Agentic is when the agent take care of everything. You see here I control the RAG assistant. I tell what to do. In the agentic RAG, I pass run the tools and the agentic and the agent do for you everything autonomous. You know? That's between the difference. You know. So let's find out the difference between them. I have some. I think I asked ChatGPT today because I know you'll be asking the question. I said let me give it to you the answer so you already have it. You know? 1 minute, please. Okay. Here's a question. You can answer the same question too. Classic RAG. Let me make it bigger. You can see better. And plus. Okay. Classic RAG versus agentic RAG. Okay. Classic RAG is library who fetch information and hand out also to you. Agentic RAG is a library that resource, planner, decision making, and you can multiply the step at the answer. You know. So classic RAG, you can see here for a minute. The classic RAG is simple, fast prediction, all right? Get the question, the information, pass to the element, give it to your response. Same like we do with the augmented relation for ChatGPT, Cloud AI, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, all of them. How this work? Very simple. Answer the question, create the embeddings, get the data for the junk, read the junk, produce the answer. Am I right? It's one child step, no self-correction, no reasoning. This guy don't reason nothing, no tools, no planning, nothing, no autonomous. I control the RAG. What is the strength? Simple, fast, cheap, easy to implement. What is the problem that we have? Is that something called the hallucination, you know, happening all the time. You have to be very careful with that. You know? That's the reason I'm talking to you about, remember, temperature, the parameter. A struggle with multi-step task cannot show different tools, can refine the answer or the stuff together. So now agentic appeal. Why do we, let's create an agent that is going to run autonomous, right? Everything is going to be automatic, you know. So what is the difference between them? Let's check it out that. The agentic reasoning, planning, and have tools. So right now, I put the tool in the agent know what to do and when to start, what not to do, you know. You can do embedded retrieval, keyboard, you know, SQL development, web service, every single day, you know. And you can do multiple times. So the engine, when you're talking to this tool, it's only one time. He can come to the field tool talk, he can jump to number 4 and come back again to number 1, you know. He take care about everything, you know. That is what we call autonomous system development, you know. What are the strengths? Highly accurate answer. Because if the ancient go to the any of these tools, it doesn't work, he will come back and find again after he will not give it to you nothing until he finish. Or he said, I'm sorry, I cannot find it. Handle a complete multi-hub questions, reduce hallucination, reduce because maybe that's happening, you have to be very careful. Performance reasoning, and get the summary as SQL rack answer. What is the problem that the agent has? More expensive. Sometimes, I will say many times, take a long time than the classic one, because he had to think it, remember? You don't tell me what to do. You give it to me the tool, I know which tool to use on, right? That's the difference between, So it's more complex to build it and require the tool, the orchestration and handle to debug it. So this is about how we do that. Okay, okay. What happens if I create the same task and I use agentic? Let me show you how this thing works. I want to show this one here, number 4 file. So in this case, we need to import 2 new libraries. I want you to remember that they are agent, line number 12 and 13. You see that here? We get the agent, the tool, initialize agent type, and I think what the other one. No, that's it. Only one library, agent. That includes the class object for the tool and initialize and agent type. Let's look at the code. The code is the same like you had at the beginning here. Let me show you, but now we have an agent that do the work for us. You can see here, agentic rack. We create agentic rack. Right click, go to definition, and let's look at the code. In this case, we have the same function definition, but we create a class that's going to do everything for us. So right click, we go to definition, and let's look at the rack. You see now it's right. Require more complex development, but they give you this autonomous decision, how to run all this. You see what happened here? So now we do all of them. You see the pipeline? We pass all the definition for the pipeline from the beginning. Load the document, get the chunk, build the vector store, semantic retriever, keyboard retriever, hybrid retriever, embedding, and so on. And here are the tools. So the first tool we are going to create is called load PDF tools. You can see here, the number 1, load the data. You already see the code about that before. 2 lines of coding, that's it. Create the junk, same idea. 1 line of coding, create the junk. Another tool. So what happened right now? I'm not going to write the code to rack to run it. I said, I give it to the tool, use it. And here we find out which one to run it in the right location. This one, create the vector store. You can see here, you already saw that before, using the ChromaDB library. And then we do the keyboard retrieval tool. We do the embedding for all of them. We ensemble this tool retriever, and we create the document, and that's the tool. See that create the document tool, in the hybrid, all of them. Coming down here, we get the source section, and now we get the document, and here is the tools. You see that? This is the tool that we are going to pass. It's a data dictionary that includes the name of the tools, the function that's going to support, and the description. All of them have 3 parameters. One more time, include the name, what the name of this tool, the function that's going to do it. So all this tool is going to pass to the agent, and he's going to find out what to do, when to load, when to embedding, when to run the retriever, everything together. And so that's the final definition for that. The function is calling that. We're going to use same definition, you can see here. And here's the very important code for you to understand. You see that here? Agent initialize. So this is the most important tools. Run all the tool and run it automatically. Don't ask me anything. This is the language model. We're going to use open function. We are not going to show the information for that. And that's going to be the error equal true, couple iteration, I give you, see some message here, see that? See, I told the agent what to do, the logic, how to run it, but he decided what to do. He can jump for any of the two, go back again, And I think that's it. Let's run it. And you can see it will take a little more time, but it's going to give it to you the same result, Now he's thinking, looking for all the tools, looking for the embedding, running all together. Let's find out. Same question. What medication he has on kid currently prescribing? And the answers kind of cool. Give you kind of different idea, but different answers to that. Show 3 medications and give it to you the source of the document. Took a little bit more running, but I didn't tell the agent to do anything. I just give it the tool, and he autonomous decided what to do. I can post it for you in a repo, the classic one and the agentic one. I believe I finished my presentation. Like I said before, I want to make it for you very practical so you can understand how to do that in production, In real life, I check right now only one file. You can look for all the file in the folder and apply the same technique, But this is the foundation for you to, if you don't have ever that before, this is going to be the foundation for you how to use it. My presentation is finished. I believe anybody have any question for me in the chat, let me know, please. Any question for me, please?
Yeah. Hi, Ernest. Okay, there
Yes.
are a couple of questions in the chat session. If you can open the chat session.
Sure.
Yeah. As you can see, a couple of questions are there.
Okay, so
Okay,
the question,
yeah.
aging is nothing but aging graph. Well, aging, we include the aging in the graph. You can put aging in anything. You can put aging in any pipeline. You can put any application, So it's not only for rack, let me go to the beginning, maybe much better. But thank you, Richard, for letting me know. Let's check out the beginning to read all of them.
Yeah, you can start with the first ones.
Yeah,
The
that's
first,
much better, right? Yeah.
yeah, this would be applicable. The first one, this would be applicable if we were getting the patient's data from an EHR.
Yes, definitely. Why not? But if the HSR have the database, you don't have to do any of this code. In this case, you can do text to SQL. It's another rack application development when you talk to the database. But you can do, yeah, that's correct. You can do that, no problem. Let me read this one remaining here.
Okay, shall we move to the next one?
Yes.
Okay, what is expected handling of word fragments in our text chunks? Is preserving complete words a requirement, or are subword tokens acceptable for the RAG system's performance?
There is no subword. They are paragraph. The chunk for the document generate different type of combination of the paragraph. So what's happening when you ask a question? The rack is going to find out which one of the paragraph have more close to the question using a cosine similarity vector story. So there is it's not word. It's a paragraph jump of a paragraph that define try to divide the document in many chunks with different overlapping. I believe answer your question. So it's not one word. It's a sometimes they have two paragraphs for every chunk.
Okay, the other one is, do you use any specific extractor to create the chunks?
Do you use any
Specific extractor to create the chunks?
no extractor? No, I don't. Same question is happening all the time. If I use, you ask me the question, if I use any technique to define the chunk size and the chunk overlap, no, I don't. I didn't see anything available. Like I said before, you need to try other combination, I didn't see that before, Is anybody have any extractor algorithm that you can pass some information and generate automatically the chunk size, the chunk overlap? Please let me know right now. I don't even recall anybody today in the state that have some algorithm that can, based on the specific business domain, a specific or the document and document size, can define the chunk size and the overlap.
Okay, the next one is, are you using Chat GPT API, or are you tuning in that case?
No, I'm
Or
not using API. I'm using the model. I pay for the count, and I'm using the token. I'm using the ChatGPT 4.0. That means I had the API code. I pay for the count of ChatGPT, and I have permission to use all the model of ChatGPT.
The other one is, how are you testing for retrieval accuracy? Or what tools would you suggest for
Yeah,
evaluations?
it is called Ragas. Let me show you right now. Good question.
And there's one more thing, and also how to remove PHI before context is fed into the LLM calls.
I'm looking right now. Okay, let's check it out. Are you talking about this question here? Okay, the accurate or the any RAG, it is called Ragas. It's the argument generation for that. It's a framework. They allow you to, based on the answer of the Raga or the RAG. I have a file for you that they can test how the RAG implemented using, it's called Ragas. You can find that in ChatGPT, So I don't understand this question here, and also how to remove before content fed the what doesn't be PHI. Can you show me in the code what you're talking about PHI? Let me show the code again. Can anybody let me know what does it mean PHI? I can see the schema here, how the lines create them, right? I don't understand what does it mean. And also how to remove the PHI before context fed the LLM call. If anybody can explain to me what does it mean PHI, I will think about it and maybe answer the question.
Personal health information, one of the participants have mentioned. Personal health information or personally identifiable information.
It is in the code. Answer the question.
One of them has defined the abbreviation.
Okay.
One of the participants.
Okay, let's check it out the second. Are you talking about the agentic one or the classic one? That's agentic code, PHI, and that's a classic one. I do not see any definition for the PHI before. This is a parameter? Or this is
The person is asking for both.
Well, can you explain to me and which file that you said that you have the? I don't understand how to remove PHI. I don't know what it means PHI. Can the person ask the question and explain to me what was looking for?
So Professor, PHI basically is for any personal information for those patients. So because we're sending it over the cloud to a third party API, right? And
Right.
HIPAA doesn't allow us to do that sharing information pertaining to personal to patients except your own.
No. This in this case, this information is located in the hospital. The secretary or the HR department have all these files located locally in the hospital and trying to talk to them. If they
Right,
want to go ahead.
But when they send it out to say over ChatGPT or Claude API, then it is going outside the hospital, right?
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah.
So
Well,
in that case, how do we, or is that out of the scope of this presentation?
yeah, that is correct. Yeah. I have a project that we designed a couple of months ago with one client that we need to do authentication in the cloud. So the ChatGPT will not allow for us to get that. If you want a screenshot, we can check out another presentation about that, how to secure RAG application development against the cloud. There's some more stuff to learn about it, but we can do that. Now I understand your question. Yeah. That is correct. What's happening? You can say, okay, I can use Olama. Olama is very slow. You run it locally. That is correct. That is correct. There is a lot of more security talking about the cloud. But we can talk. We can get another presentation one, and I can give it to you what we have done, but I cannot give it to you everything because that belong to the IP company, how they do that. Thank you very much for your question. Yeah, I understand what you're saying right now. Yeah.
Okay, should we move on to the next one?
Sure.
Okay, does it to do it in an EHR context, we would need a local offline model.
Local offline model. Yes. If you want to do that, you can use Olama for that. That is correct. The local online model the people using today is very slow LLM, but people using for do local in the office. You maybe heard about it, it's called Olama. Check it out, ChatGPT, it's called Olama LLM. You can install it and you can run locally, without getting out to the cloud.
Okay. How can we evaluate RAG model? Means it is producing right or wrong answer. Is there any methods?
Yes, it is RAGas. Let me go. It's a very important framework. Thank you for this question. Let me show you how do we do that. I can, like one more time, I can have another presentation to you. How do we control using Raga? Raga is the most important tool. Let me check it out. I can get it right now. If I'm coming here and I do, let me go to right now to Google and call Raga. And that's a different one we use. Raga price modeling, so super. Enter. No, that's something, check it out. Okay. See, Raga. Check out, this one is stable. Maybe that's the one I'm talking about. There's a specific framework, experimentation, metric. I think maybe that's the one I'm talking about, yeah. That's the framework that we're using to validate how the RAG application running. I have an example, and I can put it for you in the ChatGPT and the GitHub repo. How do we evaluate RAG application today? And I seen the metric in RAG. Let's check it out. Let's check if we can get borrow them. So I think maybe we can get some overview here. And then the metric, the code, correctness, accuracy. And let me check business metric. Single tone, a couple of these metrics we used before, as you see the RAG important. I think we have a very metric. Check out that. Volumetric. All of them here. You can see that. You can do content prediction, content recall, content entity, noise sensitivity, all of them, I think they are most important thing that we use, you see for the argument RAG, we're using content prediction, content recall, content entity recall, and all this faithfulness, And I think maybe we can have some example here. Use text generator Raga, and you can see the code here. See that? Couple of them, But the framework is called Ragas, and we always using that, How to validate and make sure that before we put in production, the RAG is in production running. I have a project. I can do another presentation and show you how to use Raga today. Any more questions?
Yes, there's one more. Can you talk a little bit more about how FASES FAIWS was utilized in your demo?
I'm sorry, can you repeat again?
Can you talk a little bit more about how FASES was utilized in your demo?
The phase, are you talking about the pipeline of the RAG? The pipeline was defined in the first sample I give it to you, am I right? Are you talking about that? I'm sorry, I maybe don't understand your question. The phases of the application development. You can see here in the file here, I define all the phases from 1 to 5, all of them, do I answer the question, or that was the
Yes,
you can specify more the question?
they want you to explain it a little bit more.
Explain all these phases again. I can explain again one more time. The reason that
just a second, sorry to interrupt. He is suggesting that he was talking about Facebook AI similarity search that you mentioned in the beginning.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have two of them. So similarity search is contained. We have two types of them. They call semantic retriever using Faith, or you can use ChromaDB. Semantic retriever, you can see the document here. Find the most semantic similarity chunk using embeddings. So you using something called cosine similarity. It's a vector store that position the peak of this vector. It's a text converting vector store the same between the dimension of the vector. You can check it out. Read more about it. Semantic role. If they are similarity, you can say yes. It's a high. You say no. Then And the other one is a straightforward keyboard. At the keyboard, the same we're talking about. Find my document containing the same word type. Both of them are required to do that. The more popular, sometimes I don't see people using the keyboard retriever. They're using semantic retriever. Like I said before, the more popular people using today is cosine similarity. There is a topic that you can go in ChatGPT and read more about it, and even provide some example how you embedding text and you get the vector store and you position how the vector store are dimensional. If they position to the same direction, they are similar. It's not that they are not. And this cosine similarity have been applied to decision tree, system development. Practically, is the most important similarity when you have two vectors. Find out the vectors are in the same direction. Feel free to go to ChatGPT and read more about it. It's kind of cool, When you get the repo, you can check it out, all this information. Give it to you many examples. What's the meaning? How to use it? Any more questions? Now, this healthcare data here, this data here, they are dummy data. I generate this data, syntactic data, Don't belong to nobody, don't belong to any, all these patients do not exist, It has nothing to do with any healthcare information that we people take care, I got one file like that, and I generate 1,000 files close to this file here, with different name, different location, everything is different. So just make sure that you understand that, In case you ask if I showed, because in United States, showing medical record is illegal, Any more questions? Yeah, everybody asked for the PHA. That's correct. Yeah. Okay. Any more question for me, please? I'm reading all the questions right now. Yeah, Faith. That is correct. Yeah, speed it up. Let's check it out. A couple of them. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can use local hosting. It's running very slow, but you can use local hosting or Lambda. Yeah. Yeah, I will give you I will pass the information to Risha about they can have people, okay, so me I have to go. Yeah, that's what I got the answer for you. Yeah, Chroma is better. Well, I cannot say it's better the face, I think Chroma have the collection metadata that you can store information about the file in the metadata collection. Chroma, Yeah, Chroma is good. The repo, I would say to repo, no problem. Yes, that is correct too. Everybody asks me the same question, this one here, No, it's slow, but no. People using no prototype in production too, Not only prototype in production too, But this is slow, Especially for the agentic generate AI project, That is correct. Yes, that is true. That is correct too. We have to, but run. This is what we have today, and people using today in production, Yes, it is better. That is correct. Well, it's free, but you have to pay for the Python account, Yes, you can use Python account for though, but you have to pay for that. It's not free, Okay. I think I answered most of the questions. So I think the best way to learn all this technique, you have to spend time, You got to go to Google, and go to Cloud AI and all this stuff, and learn how to do all the application, But I think this file I give it to you, they are very simple. They are no production file. I give it to you for learning, Based on these two files, you can learn a lot of, and apply the same technique in production environment. But for some reason right now in the state, everything we build right now is a junky Gen AI applications right now, No people using classic anymore, I believe by the next year we will have a better fast framework update for long chain, Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's not, Depends of the domain name and depends of the amount of the data that you're going to talk to, That include PDF file, database, all the stuff together, JSON file, any of this stuff, Any more question for me?
Yes, one of the participants is asking, could we get some of the code, please?
Get what? Say again, please.
Code.
Yes, like I said before, I will put in the repo these two files for you, the classic one and the adjunctive one. These two files I give it to you, and I'm gonna give it to you this file for you to that. One file for you. This is dummy data, synthetic data, has nothing to do with anybody for this PDF file. Yes, I will do that. Rich, I will give it to you that. Yeah, we will give it send to you an email. It's going to be a public repo that you can look at this 3 file code, and you can make changes. You can refactor it. You can go to ChatGPT, answer many questions, and try whatever you want to use. No problem. We have one more question here. Check it out. That. Yeah, the link, that is correct. I will give you the link, the repo to reach us sometime tomorrow or maybe next Monday for sure.
I've shared my email ID on the chat. Once I get the file from Mr. Ernest. So anybody who wants to save the email ID can save it, and later on can email me. And once I'll have the files from him, I can forward it to any of you, or any of the member in this session.
Remember, this code is only basic for the student to learn. If you want to implement this file in production environment, don't forget you have to do more at the programming. You need to do error handling. You need to do log information. You have to do dark string. So a lot of more complex information that for production environment. But I think this tool is giving to you a beginning information how to do classic rack and adjunctive rack. You can run both of them with anything. You can position any file. You can put your resume, and talk to your resume too, No problem,